All right, this is Toy Box Podcast, Episode 7, Side B. I'm mazintotoro, and I'm joined by Bran.
Hey everybody, I'm really embarrassed that it's come down to this, that I'm listening to this podcast. I'd almost rather be caught watching porn.
Also joined by Necro Oblivion.
Yeah. And I'd like to thank the viewers who come in and listen to us on our somewhat regular basis, maybe not regular, who knows. We realize there are other options for you, such as watching porn. And you can do that too, but we're glad you're listening to us, and thanks for comments.
And also joined by Timotheus Prime.
And the answer is Unicron! Top that, Bran.
Oh, what was the question?
Just call everybody Optimus Prime.
It's like Optimus Prime has reverse dementia and has to remind everyone else of his name.
Oh, look, it's Wilma. Who's that? I'm Optimus Prime. Oh,
He just wanted to make sure everybody understood. He just, in case there's some robot deafness going on.
Oh.
that'd be a good update to Where's Waldo. You have Where's Optimus Prime. Yeah, like all the different variations from the past 30 years of Optimus, and just hanging in there like, oh, we're Optimus Prime.
Dead, about to sacrifice himself, or playing basketball.
Or asleep, in quotes.
Stasis. Or frozen in space playing a radio message. Okay, we'll get to more of that later. All right, let's go into our gets recently. I think the big one for a lot of us, quite literally big, is the Takara Godbomber to go with our Super Ginrai, so we can have Super God Ginrai. So how are you all enjoying this massive piece of plastic?
It's fiddly.
He's great. He's great, but he sucks.
Yeah. I didn't get him to stand all by himself trying to be fiddly. I'm waiting to get my Ginrai to shoot him onto, and then I'll be happy.
They're the perfect
He's
effect
great
Ginrai, right?
When he stands in combined mode. When he's not standing, he's not so great.
Well, he
you
likes
can
to
get him
not
to stand.
stand. He likes to lay on his back as much as possible.
Yes.
That sounds like some other robots I know.
Hi.
But yes, the dude has some weight distribution issues for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think part of it too is just the sturdiness of the legs, become an issue. And it's really odd because for me to be able to keep him up appropriately, you have to bend him inwards at the knee, and that's just not how physiology normally works. So it's a little awkward, but it does the job. Hooray.
Basically, God Ginrai is living up to the homage to the original God Ginrai where he's just brick.
Yeah, pretty much. He stands there, looks very impressive. Had someone visiting the other day who saw him on my coffee table, just like, what is that? He looks awesome,
Yeah.
just standing in place.
Just don't touch him.
Yeah. And, at least with that, I think it looks good. The playability factor's kind of out the window for reasons we've just talked about. And, oh, God, there it goes.
You scripted better.
But,
Complete with sound effects.
yeah, so, I don't know.
That's funny. Mike, did it really just, your God Ginrai just fall over?
Yes. I went to reach for him, against the legs, just fell right back. Because what I was trying to do was look inside his chest cavity, because I put some of the headmasters in there, and I was going to comment how, at least that's neat. That's a good homage to the cartoon, and at this point, you don't have all three members or whatever you should be having in there, but eventually we're going to get those Master Force characters in Titan mode, and you can put them all in there. It'll be great.
Yeah, right now I have
I
Go
do-
Shooter, the God Bomber Headmaster, and the Rodimus Headmaster from the Siege of Cybertron set. I'm
Oh.
tempted to go buy a cup so I can have Rodimus, Cup, and Blur in there. So when they said fuck off and Headmasters, this is where they ended up at.
Is that Prime Penitentiary?
No, they went to Planet Master, got some new fuel-efficient bodies, and actually there's the ones piloting Ginrai in my new headcanon.
Oh, okay.
On your head cannon?
Yeah.
So, did you? Do you guys have the issue with your God Bomber where like you put the headmaster in the helmet and you try to put it on, it just pops right off?
No, mine was fine.
No, I haven't had that.
No,
Yeah,
mine's fine.
mine stays in just barely. I mean, just barely.
I've had some luck.
And his sword.
I've had some luck with a lot of the Titan Returns figures where the head of the headmaster himself, instead of just plugging him in facing forward like you normally would be, turn the head 180 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
And they tend to pop in a lot easier.
Yeah, all of mine, the faces of the headmaster themselves are facing forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the time, the port is shaped to fit that better anyway. There's a couple exceptions. I can't remember who.
Yeah.
I think kind of way in some ways Takara hit the mark and missed it at the same time. Because like the tabs out of Zellos don't stay in that well.
Yeah, those are terrible.
And it's just, it's like, oh my gosh, it's like, what I mean, originally back in the 90s, I mean, Maz, if you remember that far back, God Ginrai was considered the holy grail until they reissued him. I mean, literally, I was seeing this guy go on eBay for $900, beat up, scratch chrome to death, you know. And then Takara reissues him, and then reissues him like in droves. Like they oversaturated the market for God Ginrais. They literally couldn't sell it for $50 near the end of the reissue run, and now it's gone up to value again because God Ginrai. And then we finally get one, and it's okay. You know, it doesn't suck. I mean, it's cool. I mean, I'll tell you what, God Bomber adds a ton of weight. I mean, he feels nice and hefty.
Well, he's the leader class just by himself.
Yeah.
He's got a chunk of plastic in there.
And it just, just like it's. But if we're going to be fair, it's leaps and bounds over the technology of the original God Bomber, which was literally 4 pieces. And 2 wings attached. If we're being fair.
I almost wish he was a little more parts-formery, actually.
I mean, like I'm okay with God Bomber looking like crap in robot mode. His trailer mode's okay. That is not why I got him. I got him because he's going to be arms and legs and backpack on another figure. Ouch.
Well, Bran, you could just be really cool, and you can order that gift set from Takara coming out later this year, and then you can have a set of God Bomber and Ginrai, and then you could have the combined form next to it. That's what I've heard the cool.
Actually, I am curious to see if that gift set is going to fix some of the balancing problems.
Yeah, hearing that set made me so mad because shipping included, it was over $200 for me to get my set.
Damn.
Sounds like huge retailers, dude.
Yeah.
No, it's possible. I used to go for Nippon Nissan, and it was the cheapest price at the time. But the shipping at the time really skyrocketed. So I got hit in the shipping department. In fact, I got hit with the shipping department twice. Before they shipped out my God Bomber, they contacted me, by the way, we miscalculated the weight of your God Bomber. We're going to need some more money. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, you need to change. You need to change your retailer. There are plenty out there with good pre-order pricing. And yes, you're going to pay a lot for shipping, but one of two things. I know we talked about this before. Talk to your locals and see if anyone else wants to get in on that action, and then just make a group buy. So that way y'all can share in the shipping costs. That helps.
Oh yeah, I've done that. I've done that in the past, but when I tried to do God Bomber, I was the only one who wanted to do it.
So I guess the other option is go to a retailer that lets you combine purchases or stack them or however. So that way, if you're interested in buying another figure around that time, then again, you get to share at, well, you're paying the full price, but you don't get hit with the full brunt of shipping for one figure and then another. So I mean, there are a couple ways around it, but yeah, 200 is really, really high unless you paid secondhand prices for that Ginrai when it came out.
Yeah, like the last HLJ box I had, the shipping for the Goken Dankuga was $40 by itself. Then for everything else I had in the box, it was just $10 more of shipping cost.
Yeah, that Dankuga's a big guy, right?
Yeah, he's super deformed, but I think he's really large, actually. I've not opened him yet. I need like a day just to devote to him and properly worship at his feet.
Yeah. Well, all I could say is, I mean, what I described earlier, those are just two ways that helped me out a lot, because I do get shipping charges of $80 to $100 every few months, and that's because I buy a lot of stuff through import sites. But amazingly, it's still more cost effective than buying from the local retailers, and it's what works for me. So, yay. Anyway, Godbomber.
I wish his sword was bigger. That's one thing.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point. And I kind of don't like how the actual blade sits on the hilt or in the hilt.
Yeah, it's very obvious.
Oh gosh, that thing. You look at that thing at Fallout.
Yeah, I'm probably going to super glue mine in.
Yeah, mine's fallen out a couple times.
And I haven't had any problems with it falling out, but it's just I just don't get why we couldn't get one piece.
Well, because it's designed to break down, store in the missile launcher.
Yeah, oh, good point. Well,
but they could have found a better way to friction tab it in, so it would actually stay. I mean, it's literally, it's so frustrating. I mean, it's a small sword too, which is really bad, because you put it in God Ginrai's hand, it's like, here gosh, look at my knife. You like my knife? When he's all combined, it's just like, okay, and he doesn't even hold it well.
Yeah, a lot of Striker Noir's weapons are bigger than the God Ginrai sword.
Jeez. Yeah. But what would have been cool is if they would have went the MP Star Saber route and gave us, two variations of the sword. That could have helped.
That could have helped a lot.
Yeah.
Like a thin blade for Godbomber and a thick, bigger, longer one for Ginrai.
Yeah.
Right, and you could have had at least one of them store, inside the Godbomber, and then maybe the second one just kind of, stay somewhere until you want to pose them with it. But
Yeah, kind of going back to my point that Takara, I think, dropped the ball on this one. I mean, he's cool, but he sucks at the same time.
Well, we're already seeing third-party upgrades to him, so.
We're seeing that.
Maybe we'll get a sword.
Yeah. Perfect Effect had teased the Godbomber, before Takara announced one. So I would imagine they would have dropped the project entirely. But maybe if enough people are upset with, the official release, maybe we get a Godbomber later. I don't know.
Well, we are getting the full-on Power Master Prime third parties already. Those are coming out, and so just upgrading those with third party.
And Fans Hobbies got a giant one coming. Good grief!
Yes, sir. That's beautiful.
Yeah, that looks pretty good.
Fans Hobby and Maketoys.
Yep, the Maketoys one is the one I'm thinking of. That one's nice.
If you guys have the pictures, can you post them up so we can look at them side by side?
I don't have it.
Of just all the third party Ginrais we're looking at?
Yeah.
I think probably all I have is Thunder Erebus is the only one I have, probably.
Everything's kind of hidden on my computer right now. So. But I don't know. Just there are other options, but for an option that's supposed to sit in line with Titan's Return and Combiner Wars, Unite Warriors, I think this is probably the only one that's gonna do it.
Oh, have you guys played around with the alternate wing transformation and then putting some Combiner Wars, Unite Warriors arms on top of that?
Oh yeah. Wait, what?
Yeah, no, not me.
So I tried it out
I've not.
just with one arm. But I like the idea of having a super God Ginrai.
Oh, that's right. Because in the fan mode, the leg connectors are above his head.
Yeah, so you can have
You know,
two
I never
extra
thought of
arms
that.
over his shoulders.
You have more imagination than I have, Mass.
And the Superion arms look okay on him. I mean, red and white, so...
Yeah, good point. I really haven't. I know people are trying to get me to at least adjust the wings so they're sitting down a bit. And my first go at it did not work out, and I just haven't tried after that.
Just Google the picture, and that's how you figure. That's how I figured it out. It had a picture of the back how he did it, and I was like, oh, geez, I never would have figured this out if I didn't have this picture.
Yeah, the clearance is a little tight on it to get it to work, but essentially you're flipping the chest panels upside down of how they were.
Yeah.
That's my tip for it.
Yeah.
Because the wings kind of stay in the same alignment because of how the hinge that they're on.
Right.
But I think it
I'm
looks
just looking at
surprisingly
this guy
okay
now.
the default way, too. But I think I prefer the alternate transformation.
See, I like the default way, but now I'm thinking about it's like, man, I'd hate to try to even put any combiner limbs on it because he's already top heavy and he's just gonna spill right over at this point.
Well, it makes him more forward heavy in the
like-
process. So that's kind of interesting that he gets balance problems in a slightly different way.
Yeah.
But looks cool, and it's fun
What
to
if I
play
just
with.
have a
Well,
yeah? There we go.
And it gives him a
Overall,
little
are
more
you guys-
play, which I think he kind of needs. So,
We all need a little more play.
oh, don't we all?
he needs guns. These guns are way too small.
But anyway, I posted a
That really
picture of
bugs-
Thunder Erebus if anyone wants to be reminded of what Maketoys is doing.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I mean, he's I think if I remember correctly, he probably won't be as tall as this version, the Takara version.
No.
Yeah, because if I remember correctly, the only comparison I saw was him next to Striker Noir and the original Optimus. So yeah, it's a little bigger than that, but not a whole lot.
He looks bigger.
Yeah.
I mean, just from the way aesthetically he looks, it looks like he's designed to be a bigger figure. But I did remember seeing that he's not as big as I thought he'd be. But Fanstoys goes, screw you guys. The core by itself is going to be MP10 size. What you got, son?
Yes. But to be fair, though, I mean, the fans' hobby is going along the masterpiece route, so it has to be enormous. So, that's okay.
I have no problem with that. Oh, do you know who you're talking to?
Well, I like the
Sometimes
Maketoys, a little smaller, super articulated, crazy super robot designs. That's exciting for me.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to getting that in hand. He's neat. I think he's going to be maybe a little bit over a Legends class figure. We'll see how
Someone
it
was
goes.
saying that
Later
the
this
core Ginrai figure would work really well in a Legends display. The Maketoys one. So that's kind of appealing in of itself.
Yeah. So, what are we saying about this God Bomber? I mean, we're happy it's out. Wish it could have been executed a little better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's good. I just see some improvements that could have happened that I kind of wish would have happened. But no, not bad at all. It's a great display piece. He can do a rocket punch. That's important for me. And I look forward to other options too, because I just love this design in general.
Tim, Brand, any last thoughts?
I can't wait to get my full-blown Ginrai so I can hook them up and watch them fall over.
That's
Just like Overlord's
Sunday
Fantasies,
afternoon.
right?
Yeah.
All right. All right, let's go and get into Striker Noir with Maketoys getting some mention. I picked him up. Necro picked him up. Kind of said before, he is super articulated. He's got this awesome, very detailed design. He comes with a ridiculous number of weapons, so he could kill anything in his path. And yeah, much more impressive weapons than our recent leader class figures from Takara also.
Yeah. Oh man, I was really impressed with the set of weapons that he comes with, and the fun thing too was so the whole weapon pack is on 3 different sprue sets. So you've gotta, you gotta take the time to go ahead and cut them out of their plastic prisons. But the fun thing is you get to see how it's engineered because you get to, create weapons with these clear red parts inside of it and see the whole process of how they combine together. And I thought that was really cool in the whole process of getting this guy unpacked. The weapons themselves are, a lot of them are impressive. A lot of them are kind of like, oh, maybe I give you to somebody else. Although, what you will note is that with the Mana Striker Noir figures, they have a certain way to place these weapons. There's like an extra little back piece of the handles that has a cutout, and the hand has that too. So that way they fit in properly. And that's a really neat process for this line. But your other figures should be able to hold them as long as they have like a hand clasp. Or I haven't tried using any of these weapons with our standard figure with the the molded closed hand. But some of the handles, especially like the huge rifle / double bladed sword, that ain't working on any regular figure. You need to have the hand open up in order to use it.
Yeah, some of the weapons are definitely bigger than a 5mm port.
Right. And this is my first real experience with the mold itself. I had seen the Optimus Prime one a few months back, but it was at a show, and I didn't really get to handle it. So here's my first time with experience with moving the guy around, posing him, transforming him, and this. I think it was a pretty cool design. I'm not a big fan of the alt mode. That was one of the things that turned me off on the line originally. Was like, this just I don't know. I don't know what they're going with it. It looks a little funky.
That's my main issue with Striker is just that truck mode is just a little too off for me.
Yeah. But I mean, it's it's solid when it is in alt mode. You got the wheels that work with it. Animation's really cool on this. And I was kind of I laughed a little bit because he does have the wind vane weapon from a classics Optimus Prime. So that was kind of neat that they included that in here.
Yeah, I was surprised that kind of carried over.
Yeah.
And it's not obvious at first either.
You got the standard. Right. You got that weapon. You got the standard Optimus blaster, which is always pleasant to have. I don't know, smokestacks that turn into axes. That's a little weird. I don't know, Maz. You have a favorite weapon out of the pack?
The double-bladed blaster. That's definitely my favorite. It can be melee. It can be a long-range weapon. Can be a good shoulder cannon. It just works for anything, and that's probably the one I'm playing with the most.
Okay. What I didn't like is I tried to attach it to the so there's a little extra piece that you plug into his side, his backside, and then it has the connection so that way it'll go into one of the circular parts of the huge double-bladed sword.
Yeah.
That problem staying on. It's just the weapon itself is just too big and too heavy for it. But everything else seemed to kind of work well. I like that.
I can't get the angle right for the rifle to be in storage with the blades attached. I cannot just get the right angle figured out for that. But if I have the blades attached to the forearms, then I can store everything pretty easily.
Okay.
But yeah, just the blades prevent the clearance. And the broadsword, I had to have that attached to the long handle piece because I really couldn't figure out any other good storage than that, other than kind of rigging up something on the hip. I hate the pistol storage. That's one gripe I have. I think that's kind of an afterthought for how that connected in. So if I touch the legs a little bit, I knock a pistol out every time.
I can see that.
It's also fitting for him to move wrong and have weapons just dropping out of him. I can imagine that. It's the kind of guy who goes up to security and just leaves just a trail of weapons behind him. It's like, nothing to see here. Die! I can see that.
Yeah.
He just looks like just a great murder monster.
Hey, Maz, if it's okay, I'd like to segue back to the Power Master Primes real quick.
No.
Go ahead, dude.
Sure.
That awkward stuff.
Okay. So I found some images online. Fans Hobbies, Power Master Prime. This guy is pretty huge. Looks like he's about 13, 14 inches tall. And they also have a sketch released, apparently, and I missed it, of their God Ginrai. It looks good.
And it's Fanstoys?
Or Fans Hobby?
It's wings.
Fantastic.
The wings are a little high, but they're not like Takara high. And they're not as long as I hoped they would be. But the arms, the forearms, the gauntlets look good. The feet look good. But remember, this is just a sketch design. The torso, the chest, everything looks good. But it's an early sketch, so a lot can change. But yeah, it's called MB06 Power Master Optimus Prime.
Or they're not going to call it that, but yeah, it's MB06 But yeah, it's
Yeah,
definitely bigger than their MB01.
And the last I heard of it, they were calling it Power Baser.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that name may not stick, but for now, that's where it's going at.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
No, I think it's awesome.
Especially
but we're just so far.
base mode.
Though the core, he has a huge backpack because the torso and the legs are so huge on the core part. He has a huge backpack.
I like big backpacks.
Yeah. There have been people talking about that. I think they went back to redesign it, but it's still the legs are still prominent as a backpack. So I don't know what's going to go on with that. We got a couple months. They might be able to fix that. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm not stressing yet because there hasn't even been test shots released or anything. But seeing them, the core side by side with the core is pretty much huge. It's literally like half the size of the figure of the full combined form. And the trailer mode, carrier mode doesn't look too bad either.
Yeah,
he's got a super tiny Power Master though.
That's kind of the way they need to be, my opinion. But just to let you know, Tim, there's a prototype around, so you can find some picture of it scaled with other figures, like their Nemesis Prime, who is also masterpiece scale.
Yeah, I'm looking at the picture right now.
Yeah, he's like, "Hi, are you my daddy? Because you're really big." He's like, "I'll be your daddy. You see this damn photon cannon?"
Yeah, I got some pictures in the chat if you guys want to take a look.
Cool. All right.
The part of the podcast where we look at pictures. Yes, folks.
Yay! Yes, join us.
That's okay, man. If nobody's talking, the program will just skip the silence.
Yeah.
Yes, the program does skip the silence. Thank God.
Yeah. And
I might have to leave that one awkward silence earlier. I kind of enjoyed that.
Well, in the words of one of my favorite bands, enjoy the silence.
Oh, how's the song go? Enjoy the silence, break the silence, da 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 da. I forgot the rest of the lyrics.
Stop. Please stop that.
So, Bran, I want to hear about shiny primes.
Shiny primey
Stop.
people.
So nice and shiny. I managed to pick up a Lucky Draw animated Deluxe Optimus Prime in gold, because if I'm going to go Lucky Draw, why am I getting silver? It's awesome. It's shiny. Do what?
Who did you kill for that?
You know gold paint eats plastic, right?
I can't hear you guys.
You know gold paint eats plastic.
I don't think it's gold paint. I think it's like the vacuums or the electroplating or whatever it is. Because the plastic itself, like there are some areas that are the gold plastic, but most of it feels like it's like the extra layer is on top of it. So that first time transforming him was a little scary because like the legs didn't want to collapse and they were sticking, and I actually went and dug out my animated Prime and I was like, wait, how do I do this? Because I didn't want to break him.
No.
So I transformed him once and that's it. He's in
Transformed
bot
him,
mode.
took photographic evidence, and no more.
Yeah, back to bot mode, and forever there shall he stay. So I love it. It's one of my holy grails. I've always wanted to get a lucky draw. So went on eBay and was snooping around. You can find them on there. So this lucky draw, most of them are runs of 10 or 20. This one was a run of 1,000. So, it's not going to command that stupid $5,000-$6,000 price tag that a lot of them do. So I was able to find one. He had them listed for $380, which was one of the lowest I found. But he also had it as the or best offer. And surprisingly, so most experiences I've had with or best offer, they can default that to, if the product is $100, buy it now, or best offer. Well, the or best offer can reject anything under X dollar amount. So most people put it, $5 off. So if I offer 90, the eBay tells me to take a hike. So this guy did not do that. So I lowballed a bit. He countered, recounter, got it for $225, and I'm thrilled.
For haggling, that's pretty darn good for a Transformer.
for the rarest production Transformer that I have.
Yeah.
So I actually have them set up. I have my rarest production Transformer standing next to my rarest Transformer memorabilia, which is my Leonard Nimoy autograph card.
You need to get that thing sealed in Lexan and get it AFA graded.
So, I guess I could have, because I was the one to crack the blister. The blister still had the original tape on it, but it's a little late now.
So, I'm kind of curious. Do you feel satisfied on Lucky Draw now, or do you feel a challenge and you want to try for more?
Oh, gosh.
So, if I had the choice, I have one prototype. It's a pre-painted production sample prototype of the Human Alliance Bumblebee. Without the driver, but it has the missiles. So, I've had my eyes on some prototypes, and if I had to choose between just some random, Energon or Cybertron, like there's was it Energon Rodimus? That's out there. That's super rare, but it's like $800. I'd rather get a prototype of a good figure. I was talking to Zach, way back when Titan Returns was just coming out, and I narrowly lost out on a pure white prototype of the leader class blaster with his headmaster. That would have been baller. So I think I'm more interested in that kind of stuff. It's great to have the one. I might get another one like a bigger class, and it'll be a prime for sure, and it'll be gold. But I don't know. It's not on my oh my gosh, I got to have it now list, because I already got this one.
So probably not, but maybe.
Yeah. If I find the right one and it's not, stupid expensive, like somebody posted that. So one of the guys in the line room, has been looking for the very first Masterpiece Prime Lucky Draw. I didn't even know that existed. And, he was saying like, hey, anybody finds it, price isn't an option. I was like, all right, cool. That's fine. That would be neat to see. The other week, somebody posted that there's some random Transformers website that actually has one for sale for just shy of $16,000. No, I don't want to do that. That's ridiculous.
That's a real car.
Yeah, like holy shit. And what was hilarious to me was the original price was $15,999 or something like that. Well, they took $40 off and put it on sale.
What is sale price?
Well, I was like $40 off of a 16,000. You know what? If you're dropping 16K, what's $40? Who gives a shit? Like, really?
Yeah, I think it said 0% off, or it said sale 0%
yeah.
off.
Yeah, it said on sale 0% off. Well, yeah, because y'all are stupid.
And shipping is now $40 flat. Great.
Oh, for 16 grand, that motherfucker better be hand walked to my front door. Can you just imagine, like, you get that thing in the mail and the box has a massive dent in it and the figure's crushed? Like, what do you do? Like, what do you do? It's like, well, shit.
Yeah, that
You make him sign a promissory note.
Yeah.
Before.
No, it's not a bad idea.
That's what I would do. If I was going to invest in something that big, I'd make them sign a promissory note, legally binding them to make sure to compensate you for any lost damage of the figure.
Yeah.
Well, that's why you get insurance on the mailing part.
Yeah, for 16 grand, that
Right?
warrants insurance.
Yeah. Or just, take a flight over to Bran's house and have some coffee, trade off a valuable figure, and go home. Bran, you gotta pay for the air flight though.
No, you're on your
Well, thankfully, I don't have a $16,000 figure to sell you, so
own. I for 16 grand, I mean, Jesus, I could like not double my collection, but I could come close to like an extra half of my collection. I don't even know what I would spend 16 grand of Transformers on. Like every single third party ever made. Like, Jesus.
yeah.
Yeah, Bran, I've seen your collection. That is inaccurate.
Huh?
I've seen your collection, Bran. That wouldn't even put a dent in your collection.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the much cheaper realm of Optimus is, what the hell is this Rubik's Cube thing?
Oh, this thing's fun. So I've only seen him at Walmart. He's been, set up in that little end cap display that they have. So the head just pops off the little body, the arms move, and it just stands there. But the head is a 2x2 grid Rubik's Cube, and that's it. It's a lot of fun. I suck at Rubik's cubes, and I cannot get this son of a bitch back to normal. I can get like all but 2 squares. Like I took a picture. The it'll be posted up. That's the best I can get him, and I give up. I mean, I've even gone online and like Googled the algorithms and how they do it, and I'm like, you know what, I don't want to think this hard.
Because a 2x2 sounds obtainable, made to figure out something with Rubik's Cube, but sounds like not so much.
I know there's guys out there that can solve a Rubik's Cube in 6.7 seconds because they've studied it for years, and I'm sure this 2x2 is just a joke to them. But I've never been good at Rubik's. I can get one whole side, no problem. The rest of it, well, I usually just get lucky.
Yeah, my brain doesn't work that way either, so.
Yeah, I don't know all the little algorithms, and I don't care about Rubik's Cubes enough to go and learn them. So he's going to be displayed with a little misshapen head, so whatever. But it is fun. I mean, I like it.
Oh, and this is bad hosting on my part. I forgot to notice that you guys, Necro and Bran, both have the Fanstoys Phoenix.
Oh, yes. Yes, indeed.
I love it, but I hate you guys too.
That thing is huge and heavy. Like, he actually comes boxed with his legs collapsed, so he actually stands taller than his box. It's great.
How's he next to Ginrai?
Oh, dwarfs.
He is taller. Yeah, he's taller. Ginrai's head kind of comes up almost to the top of the chest of Phoenix, but then you have this massive head, and then the top of his backpack that's still. So now both of them, of course, have extraneous back bits that are taller than their head, but even at that, Phoenix stands out. What a well-built figure. And
Yeah.
Bran's right, he's heavy. He is heavy, but it's not an undue heaviness. He's a big guy. He's got a lot of parts going in on him. I really like his hands and the way the fingers are designed, because I don't have a lot of experience with the third-party replacements like KFC does with the Masterpiece figures. But this, wow, dude, you can separate the fingers out. They've got, 2 hinges on each of them.
Yeah, they're fully.
Really, it's just something that goes really well on this size of a figure, size of a bit. Because if you try to do it on smaller figures, it's just not going to go over as well. Engineering can only go so much, I think. And this is the right size for it. Other than that, if you can hear me now, there's good ratcheting on the shoulders, on his legs. So unlike Super God Bomber Ginrai, he will not fall backwards. And yeah, if this guy does fall backwards,
He's going to take something out.
the exclamation that I had earlier will pale in comparison to what I say next. But he's that damn good. He's not going to fall over. Man, just the design is very clean. There are a few pieces here and there where it's kind of like, well, why'd y'all do that? So, for instance, on the side of his legs, the vents are painted a metallic red, as opposed to like the flat red of his backpack or the stripes on the wings. But it kind of helps break up, I guess, the monotony of a mostly white, somewhat red, somewhat black, and a couple of exposed gears being silver. So it overall it's a very pleasant, it's a pleasant looking design and great figure, by the way.
Yeah, the previous third party iteration of him, like I think it was Kronos, was like a part former, and I've seen some reviews of them like side by side, and the difference is just embarrassing. Whatever company made that piece of crap, that Kronos just needs to like go away, because and it's not like this Jetfire is the Phoenix is like overly complicated. He's actually a fairly simple transformation, so it's just bizarre that we're just now getting a proper version of this character.
Well, part of it is just the production for Kronos was a little off. I've owned him since the beginning, and I've never been able to fully transform him because there are some parts that were prone to breakage issues. And if you are, so as a listener, if you're interested in a Maketoys Kronos, there are several pages of information. No, I'm serious. There are several pages of information on various sites where you can go and look up how to perform fixes, how to perform reproduced parts that will make him a better figure, or at least more playable and transformable. But at the same time, you've got Fanstoys Phoenix.
Get Phoenix.
Screw Kronos. Yeah, get Phoenix. I mean, I don't know what Kronos is going for these days, but unless you get him at a very good sale, you're going to be spending a lot of time and money fixing him up when you could just buy a Phoenix that, for the most part, is problem-free. There are a couple people saying they have issues with the tab that connects to the back of his neck, the backpack, but it's just a certain way you have to kind of pull that out.
That was very finicky about how you pop that free. So
yeah,
I had to watch a review again to be like, oh well, okay, that's how I do it, because I just couldn't get it just based on looking at it.
And that's more than a few people have commented on that, and they've broken their tabs, which is pretty bad, But I'm thankful that mine hasn't, and I'm just careful with it. And again, you just need to find a person who reviews it that shows you how to properly connect and disconnect that, so that way you don't have that issue.
That's something a little off topic, but that's something that I've always found really important, especially with high-end figures, especially third-party high-end figures like Phoenix. If you're just going to go and blindly buy the figure, you need to look at a review. Like, look at somebody transforming it, explaining the steps, so that way you don't break that super important tab on the back that holds the entire backpack on. I mean, for the money that we're spending on these things, even $100, which in the overall scheme of things, 100 is not that much for a third party figure. Even for that, you need to do a little investigation. Make sure you got that down before you just go in there and start pulling on stuff that may or may not want to get pulled.
Yeah. That's a good point, because what our good friend and beloved purchase from 2016, Mastermind Creations Carnifex, I almost broke something in one of the first steps. It was like I think it was some tabs on his back, because I was trying to pull it out, and I was following the instructions, but I guess I just missed what the instructions were trying to tell me, and I was having a difficult time with it until I started noticing a little bit of stress mark. I'm like, all right, let me go to a video, and eventually I found the right video that was showing me what I was doing wrong. So you need to take a little bit more care with these kind of figures. They, not that they should be overly complex and you have to take your time on every little part, but there's certain points of caution where you need to just be aware of and treat the toy right. or you get a broke one, and that's no good.
Yep. I mean, we saw it with the recent Masterpiece Megatron that just came out. Day one he's out, and you got all these people on Facebook, showing pictures of the barrel snapped off, all this paint getting scraped off. I got mine, watched a video. Actually, I had to watch a couple. I had to watch it a couple times. That's on bitch's heart. And I was like, yeah, okay, that person who snapped that barrel off, he was stupid. He did something stupid. Yeah.
Well, okay. I messed with my MP36 Megatron, and the biggest issue, and it is a QC issue, believe it or not, is the cylinder inside the silencer has mold flash on it, and since the barrel's all painted, it's like friction glue. So when you try to put the barrel in the first time, yeah, it doesn't fit all the way, but even if you put it in and it slides all the way in and it's not fit, you won't be able to get it off until you unscrew the silencer.
I
had to unscrew the silencer. Yeah.
In a nutshell, it's okay to read the directions, folks. You don't have to be too proud to avoid them.
Hey, I can proudly say I transform my MP36 without instructions.
Oh yeah, me too. I just watched the video.
So I don't know, Bran. Any other thoughts on Phoenix so we can get this moving?
I love him. I just posted a picture of him side by side with my TFC combiners. He dwarfs them by an inch or two, mostly backpack. But I mean, he's giant. He's heavy. Actually, one of the most surprising things that I really liked about him was, so he's got a lot of die cast. His landing gear is die cast. That dude rolls better than most car transformers that I have. Like, his weight and his heft, like, if I had a long flat surface, he would just go on for days. Like, he would just roll. Like, it was really impressive. I loved it.
I never really played with that function too much, and part of it's because I was upset because just a word of warning to people who don't have them yet. That landing gear is in there pretty tight, so make sure you have some type of tool to help you, push those pieces. Pull those pieces down because it's there. It's solid.
Once I popped it free, I used the knife, popped it free. They moved out just fine. But yeah, that initial, they're pretty stuck. But yeah, once they're out there, there was no issues.
Yeah.
I have a couple questions for you, Phoenix owners, if you don't mind.
No.
I'm trying to be polite here. Everyone's saying no, shut up, Tim, shut up.
No, what's up?
Okay, so on his chest, he has like that, fake place to put emblem. Does that rotate so you can put a Decepticon symbol on it too?
It comes with a second one, so you can pop it out and put it in the other one.
Oh, okay.
That little piece.
But it'd be cool if it rotated, huh?
There's space. It could have. I mean, they could have done that, but they just did it with a second little piece.
Okay. So how's the tightness of the finger joints?
Oh, he's so tight.
No, the finger joints are amazing, dude. They can hold his huge weapon. You can pose them in several different ways. And, like I was saying earlier, with, the smaller versions of a fish that has a lot of, articulation like this one does, there are a lot of times where the fingers just kind of fall out. Well, these, the hand's large enough to where you can have everything inside of it. And, we got little rods in there to hold them in place. He's very solid, man. Yeah.
I don't have any issues with mine. I mean, he's massive. He's heavy. He's sturdy. Yeah. Love him.
Yeah.
Gosh, Bran, I'm looking at your picture. He's like a head taller than like the Maketoys a Defensor, or is that the TFC Defensor?
TFC.
Yeah, it's the TFC one.
That's all TFC up there.
And yeah, he's literally as tall as the Predaking, head height. Gosh, so he's over 14 inches tall. Easy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I wish I had $200. Oh look, and there's the Shockwave that can't float.
That's the one figure that I grabbed in a fire. Is that Hearts of Steel Shockwave?
Did you know?
The Lucky Draw does not beat that now?
You can pre-order it. They're reissuing it. You know that, right?
But are they reissuing it with like better quality plastic, or is it just a rerun? Because if it's the quality of plastic of their Carnifex, I will get that and sell this one.
It seems more like just backstock. It's not like a new run.
Oh, then yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Now, the wife got me that bad boy for my birthday a few years back, and it was a figure. Like, I literally emailed Mastermind Creations, like, hey, guys, y'all did this Optimus. Do this Shockwave, please. And then, like, 3 years later, there she is. So, super, super stoked. That's like, my favorite figure.
So you'd still grab Cyclops in a fire and not the Lucky Draw Optimus?
Well, the wife doesn't know how, she doesn't really know about the Lucky Draw, but she knows about Shocker. So, yeah.
Good answer. Good answer.
Yeah.
All right. Necro, do I need a Boreas on my Lost Light shelf?
So yeah, that's a good question. The answer to that is maybe.
Ambiguous.
Yeah, well, it just kind of depends. So, in what we currently have as options for a Cyclonus, if you really want something to go with the IDW aesthetic, which I know that's what you're pointing to, then yeah, I think you need him. He is well built, as a lot of the Mastermind Creations figures are. It's using that same base mold as the Lockdown and the exclusive Death's Head. So it kind of has some of the same issues with those other figures, such as like the arms. The arms are connected to those tall shoulders, and that kind of limits posability. Not to say that you can't pose him at all. He does have a little bit of range, but you just have to be careful because you don't want to hit the horn on his head, or horns, depending on what head you use for him, and you don't want to hit his backpack. He does come with
both horns, definitely. I want my Cyclonus as horny as possible.
So you want the two?
Exactly.
Well, see, here's the thing. So the problem is, if you use the head with the two horns, you don't have the IDW face.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah, you have a more traditional-looking face with two horns. So now people have said, there are kind of ways to fudge it out of it, but it feels more like breaking the horn off and then plugging it in, plugging it into the other head. I would just leave it be. But overall, he's got a nice color scheme on him too. I don't know if you have any of the previous versions of this mold, but it's just kind of the same as those. He's ultra tabby when he goes into alt mode, which sometimes doesn't fit firm. So when we're talking like a lot of tabs, and we look at Striker Manus in alt mode, it's like, okay, those tabs are awesome. That is a solid, complete alt mode. This one, not so much. So I doubt he's going to be sitting on your collection shelf in alt mode, but just something to consider. But I think he's got the height that we would need for a Cyclonus. Let's see. He is taller than MP Carbots and a little taller than the new version MP Hot Rod. He goes well with Maketoys' version of Tailgate, which I know I posted a picture before of that. So that's what I said, maybe. IDW, you're a fan of that artwork and that style, then yeah, you have to get him. If you're just looking for a new Cyclonus and you're more akin to traditional designs, then this one's probably not the right one for you.
All right, I'll have to give him some thought, because I currently have the RTS Cyclonus with the kit that came with the rear end.
Yeah.
I like that pretty well, but if I'm going to start having more Mastermind Creations on that shelf, then I think that Cyclonus will look out of place.
Yeah. Especially because that particular figure lacks the height that I think you would need. So if you're gonna follow Mastermind Creations, then yeah, go ahead and pick this guy up while you can.
All right, I'll go on the Mastermind train some more. Woo!
Now.
But you got to get Cyclops first.
I think he's out of stock for pre-order now again, so I think can't get that one. But yeah, I've just broken my Mastermind cherry last week with Impactor, but I'll talk about him some other time. All right, shall we close out the gets for now and get on to our next segment?
Oh, what
I'm
segment
fine with that.
I figure we're going to get